What's up, Vikings Nation? We are super close to 1,000 subs, so if you could do me a favor and hit that sub right now, you would help me inch closer to my goal of 1,000. We're only 86 away, I believe, or something like that, so make sure to subscribe. Now, we're going into the season with the uncertainty at our quarterback position. What's going to happen with Kirk Cousins? Earlier in this offseason, obviously, our Minnesota Vikings decided to decline a contract extension for Kirk Cousins, like in the past, where we would have accepted it. This year, it's a little bit different. Kwesi says, well, let's make him earn it. Earn the right to remain in Minnesota. And that is what Kirk Cousins basically said. Now, obviously, last week or something like that, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah said the door is still open for a possible return for Kirk Cousins next season. It's just, we got to see how the cookie crumbles. We got to see what direction we want to go in and what, is going to happen this season. We're not really sure, but the door is still open. Nothing is set in stone yet. But Kirk Cousins kind of talked about this and what to expect going forward, and that he wants to earn the right to remain a Minnesota Viking. And it starts off by this. Okay, Kirk Cousins enters the final year of his contract with the Minnesota Vikings undeterred about his future. Probably said that wrong. The 35-year-old quarterback said on Wednesday that he hopes to remain in Minnesota for the duration of his career, but understands his play this season will determine how that unfolds. He says, I want to be in Minnesota. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? So hopefully we can earn the right to do that. After 6 years in Washington, Cousins enters his sixth season with the Minnesota Vikings, and on Wednesday he repeated several times his focus isn't on the future, but rather on the present, ramping up for the upcoming season. This is what Cousins said. He says, I don't think you go there, all right? I think it's healthiest to be present, to be focused on phase 2, Wednesday, and live right now in the moment. And again, when you do that, you just do it day after day, and you get to that next February and you say everything will work out. It's just best to stay in the present to have March go the way you want it to go. After reworking Cousins' contract multiple times in previous off seasons, Vikings general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah elected to not touch the quarterback's deal this year despite salary cap restrictions. Now, the decision put Cousins in a position to be a free agent next season. So what did we do in this draft? There was talks of maybe getting Hendon Hooker, Will Levis and stuff. That didn't happen. However, we selected a developmental player in Jaren Hall, quarterback from BYU. So what does this mean for the future and stuff like that? However, despite Cousins entering the final year of his deal, Minnesota didn't draft a quarterback high in the draft, selecting developmental prospect Jaren Hall from BYU in the 5th round. That takes a modicum of pressure off Cousins this year and adds to the question of how the Vikings will answer the long-term questions at the position. Now, Cousins isn't bothered by the Vikings allowing him to get into a proverbial lame duck season and is focused on simply performing at his best on the gridiron. He says, I think in this league, there should never be entitlement. You've always got to go play, and teams can do whatever they want to do. That's their prerogative. You just go to work, you do the best you can, and I'm encouraged and excited because I do think I have a good football ahead of me. So, got to go out there and earn that. But I feel positive about the future looking forward. So the future of Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings remains uncertain. He would love to finish his career out in Minnesota, but he has to earn the right to do so. Look, he's a good quarterback. He's decent enough, right? He gets his wins. He won the NFC North for us last season. We lost in the playoffs. That tells me Kirk Cousins isn't clutch. When it comes down to the primetime games, in the moments, under the lights, when you need to win the ball game, Kirk Cousins folds under pressure, and that's something that hasn't changed throughout his entire career. So what makes you think it's going to change now? I hope it changes. I really do. I think he could bring a Super Bowl to Minnesota. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort, and that's why we're giving him more and more weapons, or maybe we're just potentially building that offense for a potential takeover from somebody else at the quarterback position next year, 2 years from now, whatever the case may be. But Kirk Cousins wants to earn the right to remain a Minnesota Viking, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it. As long as he gets us wins and wins us a Lombardi, I wouldn't care, right? Winning means everything. Winning is everything. So you guys can let me know in the comments what you think about this. What do you want the Vikings to do? Move on from Cousins, keep Cousins, whatever the case may be. Also, drop a like, and hey, we're almost to 1,000 subs. Hit that sub right now and help me reach that goal. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.